Welcome to Chapter 2, Overview of Computer Crime. Let's look into this in more detail. This is your Professor Atif Reed Muhammad. We will be describing in this lecture various computer crimes and how they are investigated. The key concepts discussed in this lecture are common computer crimes, forensic approaches to different crimes, and forensic strategies based on the specific crime. Alright, a computer or another device can play one of the three roles in computer crime: target of the crime, instrument of the crime, evidence repository that stores valuable information about the crime. Let's look into this with three distinct examples. Computer forensics is a critical field in today's digital age, focusing on the investigation of computer crimes to identify, preserve, recover, analyze, and present facts and opinions about digital information. Computer crimes, also known as cybercrimes, encompass a wide range of illegal activities conducted via computers or the internet. These crimes can include hacking, identity theft, phishing, cyberstalking, and the distribution of malware or ransomware. The primary goal of computer forensics is to provide evidence that can be used in legal proceedings, helping to prosecute offenders and bring justice to victims. The potential targets of computer crimes are vast and varied, spanning individuals, businesses, and even government institutions. Individuals may be targeted for personal information such as credit card numbers or social security details, which can be used for financial gain or identity fraud. Businesses are often targeted for their valuable data, including customer information, intellectual property, and trade secrets. Attacks on businesses can lead to significant financial losses and reputational damage. Government institutions may be targeted for sensitive information with the intent to disrupt services, gain political advantage, or even compromise national security. To mitigate the risks associated with computer crimes, it is essential for potential targets to implement robust cybersecurity measures. This includes using strong, unique passwords, regularly updating software and systems, and employing firewalls and antivirus programs. Additionally, education and awareness about common cyber threats can help individuals and organizations recognize and avoid potential attacks. In the event of computer crime, promptly engaging with computer forensics professionals can significantly enhance the chances of successfully investigating and the incident, detecting and bringing the perpetrators or perpetrators to justice. Now let's look into instruments of crime, the possible instruments. Instruments of computer crime refers to the tools, techniques, and software used by cybercriminals to carry out their illicit activities. One prominent example of such an instrument is malware, specifically a type known as ransomware. Ransomwares are a malicious software designed to encrypt a victim's files, making them inaccessible until the ransom is paid, usually in cryptocurrency. A notorious example of ransomware is WannaCry, which gained global attention in 2017. WannaCry exploited a vulnerability in Windows operating system to spread rapidly across networks, infecting hundreds or thousands of computers over 150 countries. The malware encrypted files on infected systems and demanded a ransom payment in Bitcoin. The attack had severe consequences, disrupting operations in various sectors, including healthcare, telecommunication, and manufacturing. Notably, the UK's National Health Services (NHS) was significantly impacted, with numerous hospitals forced to turn away patients and cancel appointments due to the increasingly critical systems and the data inaccessibility. WannaCry serves as a stark reminder of the power and potential damage that instruments of computer crimes can inflict. It also highlights the importance of regular software updates, robust security measures, and vigilant user awareness in protecting against such threats. In the aftermath of the WannaCry attack, many organizations strengthened their cybersecurity protocols and invested in better defenses to prevent similar incidents in the future. All right, now look at evidence repository that stores valuable information about the crime with one example. An evidence repository is, in the context of computer forensics, is a secure and organized storage system used to preserve and manage digital evidence collected during investigations. One example of such a repository is the Forensic Toolkit, or FTK, Central Database, a component of the Access Data Forensic Toolkit. The FTK Central Database serves as a centralized evidence repository that stores valuable information about computer crimes. It allows investigators to consolidate, search, and analyze digital evidence from various sources, including computer hard drives, mobile devices, and network traffic captures. The database can store and index a wide range of data types such as emails, documents, images, system logs, enabling investigators to efficiently query and correlate information across multiple cases and datasets. In real-world scenario, the FTK Central Database could be used to store and analyze evidence related to the data breach incident at a financial institution. Investigators might collect and import disk images from compromised servers, memory dumps from infected workstations, and network packet captures into the repository. By leveraging the search and analysis capabilities of the FTK Central Database, investigators can uncover crucial evidence such as malware artifact, unauthorized access logs, and many of these things at once for us to look into and make sure to have an insightful decision made. Additionally, the centralized repository facilitates collaboration among investigators and ensures the integrity and chain of custody of the digital evidence, making it admissible for the legal proceedings. How computer crimes affect forensics? There can be white-collar crimes, warrant crimes, terrorism, counterintelligence, economic espionage, counterfeiting, child pornography, and or drug dealing, and the list can go on. I would suggest you to read these topics in depth so you understand. If you're in the computer forensics area, you must know the back-end context when you are called for some sort of forensics job that you have to perform. So internet has made targets much more accessible. Risks involved for criminals are much lower than with traditional crimes. Cybercrime can involve modification of a traditional crime by using the internet. Illegal online sale of prescription drugs is one of the cybercrime. Cyber stalking, exchange of child pornography, pose as children to lure victims into real life kidnappings. So these are few, and the list can go on. Identity theft, use of another person's identity, typically performed for economic gain. Common methods are phishing, spyware, discarded information, and the list can go on. Let's look into 3 of these examples. So let's look at a use case in a story fashion. Sarah Johnson in the city of Seattleville, a successful marketing manager, received a sudden alert from her bank about unusual activity on her credit card. Multiple expensive purchases had been made at various online retailers, none of which she recognized. Panic set in as she realized she might be a victim of identity theft. She immediately contacted her bank to freeze her account and reported the incident to the local police department. Detective Martin Rodriguez, a seasoned officer with specialized training in computer forensics, was assigned to Sarah's case. He began by requesting access to Sarah's personal computer and other devices to investigate how her information might have been compromised. Using advanced forensic tools like NCASE and FTK, Detective Rodriguez meticulously examined Sarah's digital footprint. He discovered a suspicious email in her inbox that appeared to be from her bank, asking her to update her personal information. The email contained a malicious link that, when clicked, installed keylogging software on her computer, capturing her keystrokes and sending her sensitive information to the cyber criminal. With the crucial evidence in hand, Detective Rodriguez traced the origin of the phishing email to an IP address linked to the known cybercrime syndicate operating out of Eastern Europe. He collaborated with the international law enforcement agencies to share the digital forensic findings and coordinate efforts to dismantle the syndicate. Meanwhile, Sarah took steps to secure her digital life, changing all her passwords, enabling two-factor authentication, and installing robust antivirus software. Thanks to the diligent work of Detective Rodriguez and the power of computer forensics, Sarah's identity was restored and the cyber criminals responsible were brought to justice. Even though this is a hypothetical and made up story, but this story I thought to share with you because when I'm teaching computer forensics, I try to give a real time story sort of a situation, which is technically anonymized. The names and the locations are changed for us to understand in more depth that how a computer crime or digital crime happens and what are the possible steps, if taken, can be prevented. So again, phishing, spyware, discarded information, I suggest you to look into that very carefully when you're reading the material that is provided to you. Phishing, an attempt to trick a victim into giving up personal information, usually done by emailing the victim, as mentioned in the story I just shared with you, and claiming to be from an organization the victim would trust. Generally, a process of reaching out to as many people as possible, hoping enough people respond. More targeted attacks like spear phishing and whaling also are the possibility, and I would suggest you to read that. And where you can read that, you can simply cut and paste or type spear phishing and whaling or phishing in the Google and find in Google Scholar what people have published. Spyware. Software and cam monitor activity on a computer may involve taking screenshots or perhaps logging keystrokes, can have a legal or illegal applications. The spyware email, this looks like an attachment and you can look at this very carefully that how that email might come to you. All right. How does this crime affect forensics? Look for spyware on the victim's machine. If spyware exists, search for where the spyware is sending data, periodic email with an attachment, a stream of packets to the server the criminal has access to. If phishing, check email history on the victim's computer as well as their web history. Discarded information, another method that allows a hacker to gather information about a person's identity, often referred as a dumpster diving. Shred documents before throwing them out to avoid identity theft. Let's look into this as an example in a story way also. So let's say in a city of ABC, Texas, Jim Harper, for example, was in the midst of his annual spring cleaning. Among the clutter, he found an old laptop he had not used for years. Assuming that it held no value, Jim casually tossed it into the trash bin outside his house, unaware of the digital treasure trove he was discarding. A few days later, a seemingly ordinary garbage collector named Shankar prowled the neighborhood, meticulously sorting through trash bins. Shankar was not your average sanitation worker. He was part of the shadowy network of cybercriminals who scavenged discarded electronics for valuable information. When Shankar found Jim's old laptop, his eyes lit up with the opportunity. He quickly stashed it away, eager to exploit its contents. Once again, this is a hypothetical, anonymized story. Back in his clandestine workshop, Shankar booted up the laptop and used specialized forensic tools to recover deleted files and extract data from the hard drive. To his delight, he found a wealth of personal information, old tax returns, bank statements, login credentials, and even scans of Jim's passport and driver's license. With this treasure trove of data, Shankar could easily commit identity theft, apply for the credit cards in Jim's name, and even sell the information on the dark web to the highest bidder. Jim, blissfully unaware of the impending storm, continued with his daily life, oblivious to the fact that his discarded information was now a gold mine for cybercriminals. This cautionary tale serves a stark reminder of the importance of securely disposing of old electronics and the potential dangers lurking in the digital shadows. Hacking, a generic term that means breaking into a system, is often performed remotely. So you be mindful of not having one factor authentication, rather have two factor or multi factor authentication on each and every of your email and login. Hacking via cross site scripting. Perpetrators seek out some place on target website that allows end users to post text that other users will see, such as product reviews. Instead of posting a review or other text, the attacker posts JavaScript. If website does not filter user input before displaying, other users navigate to this review and script executes. Look for scripts in the website search the web server's logs for redirect messages. Hacking via off-crack. When Windows boots up, system locks the SAM file so it cannot be copied or edited. A hacker can use off-crack to boot to a Linux live CD, compares rainbow table against SAM file, searching for matching passwords. Off-crack displays all the passwords it finds. Here's an example of the off-crack or OPH crack, that how it works. The screenshot was taken from a live machine, so all non-standard user accounts and all passwords were redacted. This is a rainbow table that has password and let me in and all that jazz that is given. It also has the hash. Okay, tricking tech support and hacking general. Tricking tech support means hackers run net user command, saves the script in all the user's startup folders, gets a domain admin to log onto the machine, triggering the script to run it in the background, giving the local account domain admin privileges. Hacking in general, as entire books are dedicated to hacking techniques. Computer crime investigators should have a strong working knowledge of hacking techniques. A fraud. Any attempt to gain financial reward through deception. The subclasses of fraud are investment offers, data privacy, how it affects forensics, trace the communications, follow the money. Credit card fraud, mortgage fraud, and all these lending frauds can happen quite often. Non-access computer crimes. Crimes that do not involve an attempt to actually access the target. The examples are denial of service, or also dynamic denial of service, DDoS attacks, viruses, logic bombs. Let's look into the denial of service with an example. Denial of service attacks aim to disrupt the normal functioning of a targeted system, service, or network by overwhelming it with flood of traffic or requests, making it unavailable to its intended users. Banking services is number one in my opinion. Imagine a large bank that offers online banking services to its customers. A group of cyber criminals seeking to disrupt the bank's operations and cause distress among the customers launches a DOS attack, or denial of service, against the bank's website. They use a network of compromised computers known as botnet to generate an immense volume of traffic directed at the bank's servers. Overwhelmed by the sheer number of requests, server become unresponsive, preventing genuine customers from accessing their accounts, making transactions, or paying bills online. This is not only causing the financial losses for the bank, but also damages its reputation and erodes customer trust. The next could be online retail during the peak holiday season or holiday shopping season. And unscrupulous Competitor targets a popular online retail platform with a DOS attack. The attacker exploits vulnerabilities in the retailer's infrastructure, sending a massive number of requests that consume all available resources. As a result, the retailer's website becomes slow and unresponsive, with many customers unable to browse the products, add items to their carts, or complete their purchases. This leads to significant revenue loss for the retailer, frustrated customers, and potential long term damage of the brand of the image. Last not the least, healthcare or hospital networks can be another example. A hacktivist group decides to launch denial of service attacks against a major hospital network. The group uses a combination of techniques such as SYN, S as in Sam, Y as in yellow, N as in Nancy, floods, or ICMP floods. I would suggest you look these terms up so you can conduct a study at Google Scholar or IEEE Explore, to inundate the hospital's network with traffic, causing it to grind to a halt. This disruption affects various critical systems, including electronic health records, appointment scheduling, and even life saving medical devices that rely on the network connectivity. With the network down, healthcare providers struggle to access patient information, administer timely care, and coordinate emergency services, putting patient lives at risk and creating chaos within the hospitals. These examples illustrate the severe impact of denial of service attacks that can have on different industries, highlighting the importance of robust security measures and contingency plans to mitigate such threats. Again, SYN. The client machine sends TCP packet to server with synchronized flag turned on. SYN is a flag. Server acknowledges the request to synchronize by sending back a TCP packet or transmission control protocol with two flags turned on: acknowledgement ACK flag and the SYN flag. So it's also synchronized. The client responds with a single ACK flag and communications begin. Attackers keep sending SYN packets but never respond to the SYN ACK, which is the acknowledgement it receives from the server. Eventually, the server has so many open connections it can no longer respond to the legitimate users. Low orbit ion cannon. This is an example. Any software that self-replicates like a human or animal virus. Fake AV.86, Flame, Game Over Zeus, Rombertic, Locky is a ransomware where our virus categories, these are macro, memory resident, multipartite, armored, sparse infector, polymorphic. How it affects forensics: easy to locate, difficult to trace back to the creator, document the particulars of the virus, identify commonality among infected computers, such as visit to the same website again and again. Logic bombs, malware designed to harm a system when some logical condition is reached, often triggered based on a specific date and time. Possible to distribute a logic bomb via Trojan horse. Cyberterrorism, the use of internet to perform terrorist activities, can include large-scale disruption of computer networks, attacks on national power grids. China Eagle Union, that is the group that consists of several thousand Chinese hackers whose stated goal is to infiltrate Western computer systems. Investigate as you would any other cybercrime. Difference lies in the jurisdiction. Cyberterrorism and cyber espionage are referred to the FBI. We have discussed the common computer crimes. We also looked at forensic approaches to different crimes. And we also had a deep dive in forensic strategies based on the specific crime. See you in the next lecture.